So welcome to your next panel.
Yeah.
These gentlemen are going to tell you the fine art of getting into the very competitive market of voice acting. How'd you like to start this?
Well, I'll let you know that I brought a special guest with me because I know we all miss him.
Yes. Yes.
Brought David Kay with me, just to listen. It's travel size David Kay. So how do you get into voice acting? Well, my very first comment on that is you learn how to act. Because I think, at least for me, the voices that we do are wonderful things, but that's the icing on the cake. And you have to have a cake or nobody wants to book it. Do you book a cake? Yes. I guess you book a cake, yeah. So you have
45 minutes, and then you let it cool before you ice it.
That's true. That's true. Because you have to be able to tell a story. And I think your character tells a story and the writing tells the story. For me, my technique anyway is that my characters are words that lie on a bed of emotion. Because it's all about how we relate to each other. There's a lot of things to learn. And to realize that it's a craft and not just something that's just, it is very fun to do, but it's harder than it looks. I'll just say that way. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but there are a few things you have to learn. Anyone else have some thoughts?
Well, I absolutely agree with you, David, that the acting is the principal part. And for me, in my personal story, most of you know that I did the voice of Spider-Man on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I had never done animation before, and that was a big job. I mean, it was the lead in this Marvel-produced series. And the only reason I think that I got it was because I had acting training. And I knew how to act. I didn't know how to work a mic that well. I didn't know any of the techniques involved in the voiceover profession, but I knew how to act. And I acted the part, and I think that's what sold it. So yes, I absolutely agree that if you're going to think about going into any phase of this business, I think you need the acting background. You need improv training. You need, I studied under the method, the famous Stanislavski method, but there are many other different ways of learning. But yes, the acting is the base of it all. And then you can do silly stuff. But underneath it is the intention and your actions and objectives and what you hope to accomplish when you're reading a line. It's all that stuff. And so yes, I concur.
I concur with the concurrence. Because to me, when I finally met Dan, actually it's about, I think it was over Tischerman.
Yeah, was he your agent?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I knew him from the Jack in the Box commercials. Oh, those were good. I like those. And to me, that's Spider-Man. The way he did it, that was the first Spider-Man I ever saw. And to me, that's the way Spider-Man is, because he brought him to life. He wasn't doing a voice. He had a character, and the character spoke through it. And I think that's what we all try to do. My big thing is, as everyone here will say, be an actor before you're a voice actor. And mine is stage, theater, because you get such a sense, some of you have heard me go on about this ad nauseum, you get a sense of spatial relationships. You get the sense memory of what it is when you're performing an action, so that when you are in a voice role, you can bring that reality to what's going on in the theater inside your head.
Mr.
For
Eiding?
me, ditto. It is all about creating characters, creating relationships between the characters. Everybody has a funny voice. Everybody can do some funny voice. Everybody in here can do a voice where you say, oh God, that's great, or a different voice. Okay, everybody's got that. But that only takes you so far. You can listen to somebody with a funny voice. Okay, that's a cute little character, but how does it sustain? How does it live? And all these characters have to live. They have to be real characters. And in voiceover, it has to be punched up a little bit. It's got to be a little bit larger than life. But it all comes from the base of acting. You have to know what you're doing. And there has to be some sort of relationship. And that's the bottom line. That's what I always, whenever I do seminars or whatnot, it's all take an acting class. It doesn't hurt. And it will definitely help.
I studied with Sanford Meisner in New York years ago, and very lucky. Did you as well?
Yeah.
When he was alive.
Yeah. Yes, well, yeah. After he
I
was
worked
dead, it was
with him,
no
he
good
died.
anymore.
I
Yeah,
agree.
well, a lot of us have. But he used to say acting is living truthfully under given imaginary circumstances. And there's nothing more imaginary than what we encounter in animation and games. It's a heightened reality. You have to know what space you're in and act within that space, recognizing everything in the room in your mind. It's a radio play. You have to know who you're talking to, what your relationship is with that person, and your relationship is with yourself. It all comes out in the voice, and that's the acting part of it.